it's impossible for me to make that shift at this moment.
Yeah.
But those are like little things that I literally like. I tell myself all the time, like, all right, yo, relax. Like, if you was in his shoes, you would probably be pissed off because you're not listening right now.
Yeah, for me at that moment, you gotta say to yourself, all right, pause. I'm gonna come back to this later because this now ain't gonna work.
It depends on how bad it got.
Yeah.
That's what it really depends on how bad. Like whatever the situation is. I've definitely been in situations where I'm like, yo, I need a day. We'll come back to this.
Nah, that's real.
Quick catch, yo.
I know, motherfucker. You shouldn't have threw it though.
You did this. I was like, all right, cool.
I was gonna reach around and grab it. But
Cool, Harry. Cool, Harry. Let me ask you this. And it goes back to the conversation that we had before we started recording in regards to who that look you gave me, you're good, son.
I want to.
She gave me a look. I was like, nah, it's not that. No, it's not that.
You gonna bring up the stallion again?
Nah. Shit, I low key kind of. No, actually, and honestly, it kind of does revolve around that because obviously, like today, there's so much exposure with social media, internet, like everything is just you have access. And you can see so much, right? Mm-hmm. So, obviously, like, when I was a younger kid, like, I wanted to be, like, freaking Tayshaun Prince or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's all,
Tayshaun Prince, that's what you came up with? Okay.
He was lefty, he was nice, he had a chick.
That was a real comment.
Yeah, like, what?
He wasn't mad.
He was lefty, he played defense, he was skinny. He wasn't nice.
Whoa.
Tayshaun Prince was not nice. He was a good player.
We'll talk about this another time.
Let's do that.
But, so in regards to the platform that you have that really is mentoring the young ladies especially, so it's like, how do you see who they want to be and like help them figure out who they should be looking at? Because, for example, I know I'm not a father yet. I may have a son, I may have a daughter, whatever. But like I know in my mind that aside from your mother, I want to at least expose you to X, Y, and Z because they're doing A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. And they're doing so much and they carry themselves in a way that I would hope that you can perhaps pick things from and have into your own. Now, you also have different types of women, like you said, the Amber Roses or the Meg Thee Stallions or I don't know anyone else that's like out there in that aspect.
I'm really
you know
curious
what I'm
as to how you teach younger women the liberal side of womanhood. Like
beautiful.
And is the slut walk too far? Like,
words.
Honestly, that's a tough one. Because you gotta think, as guys, we're taught, like, yo, go talk to this girl or
go get that.
The royal oats. Like, everything is centered around you doing whatever the hell you want to do. Now we're getting to an age of, like, women and women's empowerment. Part of the empowerment is
shaking that ass sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. City girls. You know what I'm saying?
Woman,
like,
you can do what you would like to do as well.
Yes.
How about that?
See, I don't know. This is something I always struggled with.
Speak your truth, my G.
Because it's kind of like touching on that whole thing with like double standards.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, like growing up, like my brothers now, like they were able to go out and do whatever the hell they wanted.
You can do that.
Double standards.
My mom was like, absolutely not. She was like, you're a girl, and I never understood that. I'm like, but that doesn't make sense to me. But I'm like, I know how to carry myself. But she was just like, it's different. And when I think about the slut walk, I think when she first started it, I loved it. I think it made sense. But
yes, here we go.
I think now it kind of turned into something that honestly I don't really understand what the goal is. So it's hard for me to say like.
I'm gonna let you keep commenting because I'm not gonna touch it, but I feel you.
I don't really understand. Like I do get like a woman should be able to do whatever she wants without like criticism. It is her body. Mm-hmm. That's the life that she chose. That's on her. That's for her. That's for her to live in her truth. And no one could know. I'm not someone that's like gonna be super just. Oh, she's over there like she's a bottle girlish. I would never do that. If that's what she chose to do, like that's her life. Mm-hmm. That doesn't affect me. Am I gonna say she's less of a woman than me? No. But the slut walk now, I wouldn't do that.
Why?
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Because the slut walk is confusing to me because on one side it's like you wanna like preach the liberation to your daughters. To
well,
your
that's why I
women,
said slut walk. Now I don't really understand because I feel like
you said what's the message now?
Yeah, like I feel like the
What
message.
changed?
I don't know. I just feel like the way she started promoting the slut walk, like her overall goal got lost, and it just started to like confuse me on like, okay, like, well, what is it that you're really kind of like pumping now?
What was she in your eyes? What was she
Before?
pumping
The way I was looking at it is the way she was pumping it is just like as a woman, you should be able to do whatever you want, like move how you wear whatever you want without like being criticized.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it kind of turned into like she's focusing on like women can sleep with however many however many men they want to, and like I just feel like I'm kind of like it shouldn't only focus on that, like.
But I this is gonna sound crazy from a man's perspective.
Go ahead, freaky.
Like,
You on camera?
I kind of, and this is like we live in this patriarchal society where it's like men can like sleep with whoever they want, and as a man, I have benefited from this society, and I am more than fine with that. But on the other side, my thought always like, okay, dudes rack up bodies. The more bodies you get,
The
your
more
body
elite
count
you
goes
are.
up.
The more elite you
The
are.
more elite you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh, women want you because they know other women had you and other women wanted you. So, oh, your body count is 60? Oh, wow. Bitches fucked with you.
It's gonna be 61 tonight.
Yo, it's gonna Yo, and it's just like, yo,
I
women
will say
wanted
that
that.
it's very different than what I thought.
But like the norm from
we gonna
what,
talk about it.
Yo, Angie, from what I've realized, like growing up, the norm, like the more girls you have sex with, the higher your body count is, the more women want to deal with you.
The more he was that nigga.
Whether it's like, oh, he's experienced or he knows what to do, or it's wow, okay, maybe he doesn't look good to me, but he looks good to a lot of other women, so maybe he should look good to me, or yo, this and that. But like on the women's side though, oh, your body count is 6.
You ain't getting no
you a
pussy.
hoe. Yo, wait, I'm 27. That means I've been having sex for 10 years. I got 6 bodies.
That's fucked up.
That's less than 1 body per year. Like you got 60. You've been having sex for 8 years.
In my personal like opinion, I feel like you as a man, you have to have a certain type of mindset to not let something like that bother you, because she could be the most amazing woman in the world, and you're gonna sit there and keep thinking about that just because.
Yes, that's a fact. But there are women too, though. Women view other women that have a quote unquote high body count.
No, there are.
What the fuck is
Listen, I'm
high?
not even gonna lie. Like in my younger years, yeah, I would be like, "Yo, she's fucking bugging." Like that's
That's
crazy.
fucking-
No,
That's
I'm
society,
being
though.
honest though.
That's the societal.
But like
that's
now,
society shaping that.
I'm older and like I just see things differently. I'm like, yo,
You grew
like,
up.
right?
As we all did.
Shit happens.
Mhm.
Like
Word.
shit, like that wasn't my path, but like shit happens. Like I have friends that like, like they
would be considered quote unquote hoes
right.
based on their body count.
Don't ever do that.
Not based on the way they did things,
Yeah.
just based on their body count. Like I had a boyfriend for 4 months, and this year I had a boyfriend every 4 months. That's 3 bodies in a year. 5 years later, that's 15 bodies.
I can't.
Jesus.
That when you break it down by the months,
I gotta
that's
report
not crazy.
I'm like,
No.
I'm like,
When you break it down by the months, like okay, I slept with one dude in this 4-month period.
but I feel like people.
What's wrong with that?
I feel like when it comes to women, like men kind of try to use that as if she's less of a woman just because.
100%.
And that I don't. Maybe like in my younger years, yeah, I would agree, but now I don't agree.
Yeah,
'Cause
why
I'm like-
do women do that though? Why do women view those other women the same way that men view those women? 4 months, 1 body. 5 years later, you got 15 bodies. Now she.
I think it's just because you don't really like understand. Like you're not. Realistically, you may not be a woman that dudes is checking for. So you see a girl that is like essentially it could be hate.
Mhm.
It could be like you're just not really understanding like why does she move like that. It could be like how you were raised. Like there's really so many different factors. But like at the end of the day, it doesn't make her less of a woman. If that's what she chose to do with her life and her body, that's her choice.
Yeah.
Because the things that you may want to do, she may not agree with.
Yep.
And that's really what it is.
That's why the slut walk is interesting to me, because like there's different people that they interpret that a different way.
Yeah.
Some people say, because Amber Rose might be saying wear what you want, act how you want, behave how you want, have sex with whoever you want. And some people might take that, okay, that's 4 things. I'm taking this one thing right here. And I'm saying, I'm gonna wear whatever I want. You can't touch me.
With things like that, you have to listen to the overall message. You can't pick and choose. You can't have selective hearing.
Yeah.
Like that's not that's a topic you really have to like dive into and really like understand, like, okay, well, why do you think this way?
Yeah.
But this also goes back to like being stuck in your ways.
Mm-hmm.
You really kind of got to try to understand why someone else moves the way they do.
Yep.
Like you don't know how they grew up, why like they could have like
a very
something with them why they move
a very
that
good
way.
story.
Right.
A very good story.
So it's like you never know, and that's why we say like, you just never want to judge somebody just because you're not understanding of something.
Shoot, Gil, I ain't gonna say the story. You heard the story 1,000 times. I ain't saying
What's the story?
Nah, it's just that one time, like in my past relationships, whatever. I remember we had a moment where we were coming clean about like our past endeavors, whatever, and so I remember like she had asked me my body count. So I was like, oh, I'm at this number, but I say blah, whatever.
She your number times 4.
No, thank God. That I would have rolled out the highway. God, that would have killed me, nigga. But it's just that, and then when I had asked her, and mind you, like at this point I was probably like maybe like 19, whatever. So obviously I'm still younger, Jeff. You know what I'm saying? You said, what's it? What am I? Fuck you, nigga.
You trying to comfort the number.
No. But either way, her number. No. But her number was the same as mine.
What is that? Sound like an ego thing.
No, my thing was this. She told me that, and I was like, oh. Now, in my mind, I was like, damn, she told me that same number? But my mom, like, fuck it, I'm already here. I already fuck with you. But what had fucked my head up, nigga, she was mad at me for my